The community has spoken. The polls are in. First up, we have the Aloes, a boss fighting dino that players enjoy. Once you've tamed Aloes with the perfect stats, they breed very quickly, which lets you mutate them up pretty quickly as well. This allows players to reach boss fighting stats fairly easily. While the bleed effect does not work on bosses, the Aloe gets a nice pack bonus. So while the Aloes landed in last place, they are still a decent choice for boss fighters. Coming in just ahead of Aloes are the Rhinos. Rhinos are preferred method for mini bosses for many players, and for a good reason. These guys hit hard and can heal off a sweet cake. Throw in a Daedon or two and you have an extremely powerful boss fighter. They are also very fast to raise, so you can quickly mutate them for the stats you were looking for. One of the downsides is they need to sprint and build up speed to increase their damage dealt, making them less ideal for Broodmother and Megapithecus. Ever wanted to just slap a boss to death? Well, up next, we have the Spinos. These bad boys can stand up and slap an enemy to death. They get a buff from water, so Spinos are better for boss fights that have water in them, but even without the buff, they can be a decent choice. The Megatheriums come up halfway through the ranks. These enraged boss fighters can pack a devastating punch if there are bugs in the fight. That leaves them as being good Broodmother killers, but not much else. The good news is, you only need Megatheriums with 600 to 700 melee, and about 15k hit points to beat Alpha Broodmother. You can get those stats off a decent tame or pushing stats up with Mutagel really fast, making the Megatherium one of the easiest early dinos for fighting Broodmother. Tickle Chickens made it right in after Megatheriums. Therizinos are one of my favorite boss fighters, though they take quite a bit more mutating to get them strong enough to handle all of the alpha bosses. Throw some sweet cake on them, UD buff and Daedon heal, and Theris become unkillable. Due to their healing, they are one of the preferred ways to take on Alpha Dragon, though you will still need a Rex or two to kill the Dimorphodons, as Theris have a hard time hitting the little armor-eating flyers. Coming in fourth are the electrifying Shadowmanes. The Shadowmanes are great for many uses and excel as boss fighters. They are relatively easy to raise and therefore mutate quickly. While they cannot hit quite as hard as some of the other boss fighters, the buff they get from the roar alongside the natural armor makes them super hard to kill. If you have two players going into a fight, adding a UD buff with a Shadowmane buff allows these dinos to wreck most bosses without any mutations. The Alpha Dragon is a bit tougher though and could wreck them until they have been mutated a bit. Overall though, the Shadowmanes are great boss fighters, especially for newer tribes. Throw in some Mutagel and you can quickly advance these guys to beat any boss, except maybe Fenrir. Let us know in the comments below what place your favorite boss fighter got. In third, we have the Ninicus, and for good reason. If you can get a high level Dine early on with an imprint bonus, you can hit the melee cap for the Dine's bleed without needing to mutate them. This allows players to destroy most distracted bosses, as the Dine's bleed affects bosses. Fenrir has an area attack, so the Dine is harder to use against Fenrir though. Make sure to check out the Ninicus video linked above. Coming in second place is the Giga. Wait, what? Yes, that's right. Gigas could go into boss fights for a while due to a glitch with the cryopods. Some players swear they can sometimes get a Giga into the boss arena still, but supposedly it has been patched out. Gigas wreck bosses, well, as long as you're imprinted. If you're not imprinted, drag and breathe fire, then bite a Giga a few times and enrage it. The Giga can then turn and eat your other boss fighters, causing issues, while yet being funny. And of course, the king of boss fighters, the Rex comes into first place. The Rex is a super solid dino that can be leveled and mutated differently depending on what you need. While mutating them can take a while, they deal massive damage and they can tank really well, making them ideal in-game boss fighters. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.